A Shark Tank host showdown has been brewing for months now. You've got Mark Cuban on one side, who absolutely loves Kamala Harris and her economically really smart plan to tax people on money they don't even have yet. And then you have Kevin O'Leary on the other side, who just wants government to stop ruining business. I want to talk about Kevin O'Leary first. So, Kevin O'Leary went on a CNN panel and brought up a pretty basic Democrat principle, which is that Democrats should vote. It's not really something they believe in. And of course, the journalists, I say that in air quotes, came on CNN, came to Kamala Harris's defense immediately because that's what they're paid to do, of course. Take a look at what that looked like.
I would like to introduce the concept of the panel tonight. It's going to be a short dissertation, but I want you to think about this because I watched like you did yesterday, and something hit me pretty hard. Only 90 days ago, Pelosi went to Biden and said, you need to step aside, and convinced him to do so. He made the decision, and he did actually ask her, and we've now learned this, is she the right person to drive this home? He questioned that. He could have said, we need to run a process in order for me to make this move. But they decided not to. I don't know who they is. Was it Obama? Was it Pelosi? I don't care who it was. In stock picking, just listen to this analogy. And you may agree, you may not. 88% of managers, because this is the world I live in, cannot beat the S&P year in, year out. So you give them $1,000, the S&P beats them. They can't pick stocks. This is the second time the Democratic Party has circumvented democracy and chose.
That's not true.
Yes, it is. Hillary Clinton was chosen, and she had Bruce Springsteen too. And what happened to her? And now we've chosen.
Kevin, Hillary Clinton won a primary. Okay, she won a primary. You may not.
Nobody could compete with her, even Bernie Sanders.
She won a primary.
Okay.
First of all, that's the first
thing.
So
did Kamala Harris win a primary?
Listen, we've talked about this before.
What's wrong about talking about it tonight after what you just saw?
Do you think that's really what matters to voters?
Right now.
How many Democrats wish?
Your whole shtick has been, let's talk about what matters to voters. Do you really think voters care about the internecine primary process?
If you're a Democrat, you sure as hell care today.
I know that you are from Canada, but the primary process.
That's why I'm perfect for this. I have no skin in the game other than to get a great president.
It's not in the Constitution. The political parties can choose however they want to choose their nominee.
Right.
And as long as they meet the legal deadlines in the states where they are on the ballot, they can do it however they want.
I just
want
to be transparent. Yes, I was born in Canada, but
December 2023 just handpick somebody.
Just to be transparent, I was born in Canada.
It's a Democratic Party process, not a Democratic.
No, but my kids were born and raised in Boston. All my investments in the United States. I want the president, whoever it is, to be a winner.
You're describing something as undemocratic that has absolutely nothing to do with the Democratic.
And this is why
So I'm actually really glad that Kevin O'Leary reminded CNN and its viewers and all of us about this, because it really can't be said enough. The party, named after democracy, literally held 0 elections to choose their candidate. 0. Like, again, look, Republicans, we believe in a republic. So if we did something like that, we'd get slammed for it. Make no mistake. But Democrats don't believe in democracy. And the reason why I say that is because Kamala Harris was appointed, not elected. Again, just the normal Democrats. How are they okay with this? How are you a Democrat? Like, if there are Democrats out there, whether you're a conservative Democrat or a liberal Democrat, and you're thinking to yourself, yeah, Kamala Harris is our nominee now. Think to yourself, how did you get there? As a member of the Democrat Party, what did you do to get Kamala Harris there? You did nothing. Because Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer, and the Obamas told Biden, hey, bro, we're going to oust you unless you step down. He was forced to step down. And then they appointed Kamala Harris because she was willing to go along with the Democrat machine. I don't really think she's an ideologue. I don't think a lot of people think she's an ideologue. But she's willing to go along with what the party wants. That's good enough for the Obamas and Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer and all the rest. But again, if you're a normal Democrat, how are you okay with that? I don't know. And herein lies the fundamental difference between Democrats and Republicans. A lot of people have asked me, they said, Josh, how could you support the Republican Party? They have so many issues. These are conservatives, by the way, talking to me, not liberals. And I get that. I mean, the Republican Party has had some serious problems, especially if you look at the last 20 to 30 years. They've done some very not conservative things. I'm also more of a populist, more of a what have you. I'm not a globalist, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And the Republicans have done some very globalist things. So they ask me, how could you support the Republican Party when they've done the things that they've done? This is why, guys. And this is why I don't fully believe in the uniparty. I think there's some principles, sure, that are concerning. But this is the reason why I do support the Republican Party instead of the Democrat Party. And Kevin says it perfectly in this. In the Democrat Party, the nominee for them is appointed. It's appointed. Even when there was an election in 2016, the elites appointed the nominee. It was Hillary Clinton, right? In the Republican Party, this is not the case. And people have forgotten this a little bit because Trump has been an incumbent for 2 elections now, including this one. And so sometimes you forget kind of what the primary process is like. But look at Donald Trump. Let's flash back to 2016. What did 2016 look like? The 2016 Republican primary is a perfect example. We had Bush. We had a Bush running for president, Jeb Bush. We had Ted Cruz running for president. We had many, many establishment and career politicians running for it. People who are deeply ingrained in the RNC. People who, if the RNC simply appointed the nominee, clearly would have been chosen. But they weren't. Donald Trump was. And the will of the people was, no, we don't want a career politician this time, because last time that happened, we had tons of foreign wars and other problems with Bush, of course. Instead, they chose Donald Trump, a businessman. They didn't want a career politician. And that is fascinating. It's fascinating in how normal Democrats don't see the difference between the Democrat Party and the Republican Party, and that is really beyond me. It's one of the biggest differences between Kevin O'Leary and Mark Cuban as well, because one is a man of business. I'm talking about Kevin O'Leary. He doesn't support Donald Trump because he's some sort of ideologue. It's because Donald Trump went through a primary process. And because of that, he had to go through some rigor and actually talk about what he believed. And it turns out we already had 4 years of him and we like him. That's why Republicans voted for him. However, you have Mark Cuban on the other side who wanted the elite to choose their nominee. And I think he was part of that elite. And so he appointed her. And so, of course, he's happy. But this is the fundamental difference between the two. Really quick, guys, before I get into Mark Cuban, I do want to talk about the Daily Wire. What are you even doing right now? If you're a conservative, but you don't have Daily Wire Plus, Daily Wire Plus is just, it has a bevy of amazing, amazing content. Am I Racist is out right now. You're definitely going to watch that and want to watch that if you didn't see it in theaters. If you have friends and family that didn't see it in theaters, though, and you did, believe me, you're going to want to head over to Daily Wire Plus and show them. They also have new deleted scenes there. I have Daily Wire Plus. I'm definitely going to be checking that out. In the link in the description below, you can get 35% off with code DEI, as well as that link. That link supports my channel. It also helps you get that 35% off Daily Wire Plus. Again, that includes Am I Racist, but it also includes all the stuff they have. And I believe as well, right now, if you sign up for a full year, you do get BentKey, which is their child's platform. So you're not getting that woke crap that Disney or what have you is putting out. You'll get actually good traditional conservative principles that your kids can learn from. So again, head to the link in the description below for that. So Mark Cuban accidentally said Trump was the better candidate and that he was MAGA while he was trying to defend Harris. It's really great. Take a look.
Yeah, it's what's best for the country. That's what I care about. And look, let me just add, if Trump wins, last time when he won, he asked me to help on healthcare, on PPE. I sat with Peter Navarro and helped him come up with a mask company and help them grow. And that was all domestic production. I'll do the same thing. I'm America first. First, that's the wrong way to put it. I am what's best for this country, country over party, country over all. I just think Kamala Harris, without any question in my mind, is the better candidate and the better president for this country.
Oh, crap. That's what he's thinking. He's like, I messed up. Did I just say America first? Mark Cuban, ladies and gentlemen, with the Freudian slip. That is textbook Freudian slip. He knows that America first is right. It is good. If you're electing a candidate, they should be America first. But that's not actually what the Kamala Harris campaign is about. And this is kind of a weird thing, is you see Kamala Harris Trumpifying her own campaign. These are things she's never talked about. It's actually not things that Democrats even want or have talked about. But because she's trying to appeal to a big swath of voters, she literally is making, and this is how you know Trump is the moderate and how you know Trump is more popular. If Trump were to make himself, more like Kamala Harris and her policies, you would know, oh, wow, yeah, Kamala Harris is the center and she's more popular. But that's not the case. It's the opposite. Kamala Harris is trying to make herself sound more Trump. She's saying America first. Her surrogates, like Mark Cuban, are saying things like America first. She doesn't believe it, but she knows that's what Americans actually want. This is one of the reasons why I completely believe Donald Trump is going to win the election in literally 1 week from today. It's just whatever is good for me politically at the moment first for Kamala Harris. That's really what she believes, while Trump truly is America first. And I have a theory, guys. This is about Mark Cuban. I have a theory. I've talked about it before on the show, but let me say it again. There's a deeply gross group out there. There's two groups here that I'm going to talk about. This is on the left. The left and maybe rhino Republicans, maybe you could call those on the left, whatever you want to call them. But here's the first group. The first is a deeply gross group out there that is a part of a leftist cult. I wrote a book about it. I'll talk about that later. But leftist cult, weird stuff, deep, scary. I'm talking Diddy, celebrity, that stuff. That is a group. But then there's another group out there. And that is a group of fairly normal people, maybe not super ideologically leftist, but they are sick of being attacked by the leftists. They're not like particularly progressive. They just want to be liked. This is what happened with Mitt Romney. That's my prediction. Mitt Romney seems like a good guy. My parents met him. People in my community really liked him. But then something changed, and it seemed like he got old and weathered and realized that being a conservative is actually difficult. And I think that is true for Mark Cuban as well. It turns out that it is harder to be a conservative than a liberal. And we all know this. Even liberals know this instinctively, because when you have big tech, big pharma, big food, media, the mainstream media, entertainment, big business, all on the left, universities, it's hard to be on the right. And I think Mark Cuban knows this. He wants to be liked. He's weak sauce. That's what it comes down to. That's what I think. I don't think he's in the crazy leftist category. I think it's as simple as he wants to be liked. And so that's why he occasionally says kind of based things like this, like he's America first. We're all like, okay, cool. Like, yeah, Mark Cuban, be America first. But it's kind of a Freudian slip, because he didn't want to say it, because he wants to be beholden to the left. Because if he's beholden to the left, he's only attacked by the right. And it turns out being attacked by the right, not even close to as bad as being attacked by the left. He's just sick of saying true things in favor of being popular. And many, many people fall into this category. He's just the latest example. It's very disappointing, especially because it makes smart people like Mark Cuban look very, very stupid. Well, guys, I did mention my new book, A New Cult. It's up on the bookshelf right there. Leftism is a cult. I firmly believe that. I really enjoyed writing this book. I talk about Jeffrey Epstein all the way to George Soros. Really, really fascinating stuff that I learned. I write it all down in that book. In the link in the description below, you can find it on Amazon. It's $9.99. If you have a Kindle subscription, it's free, so it supports me. I also think it's a really fun read. Again, I really enjoyed writing it, so go check it out. Link is in the description below. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Please go down below, like the video, subscribe to my channel as well, and check out another video.